Tell you, for a big girl, this thing rips. Let her rip, tater chip. Who did this? Who did this? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Adam here with Indy Farm Life, and welcome the newest piece of equipment to the farm. 2025 Can-Am Defender Max HD9 XT. It's a mouthful. For work or play, you decide. I already love this thing. Brand new and it's already a mess. And again, I didn't buy it to sit in the garage. 2025 Can-Am Defender. Why did I buy it? Well, I did need something. I had a golf cart that I was using for years, and it's a golf cart, right? It can't really haul much, it gets stuck all the time. And then I destroy it like this. My wife's not too happy with me when she wants to take the kids somewhere on it. That's one reason. The other is peer pressure. My best friend of about 22 years lives right next door. Guess what he bought last year? 2024 Defender. Guess what he told me about a month ago? Hey, they're doing closeout sales on 2025 Defenders as they make way for 2026 inventory. You should look into that. So here we are. The worst influence in the best way possible. So here it is. And I'm already finding that I absolutely love this thing. So we'll talk a little bit more about why I bought it, show you guys some features and specs, why I didn't buy a Ranger. Not a Danger Ranger, I still want one of those, but you know, Polaris Ranger. Hey Kyle, check it out, it does have this feature. Stupid. So let's be honest, if you've been to the channel before, you know I've got no shortage of projects, and knowing everything I do out here, a golf cart is just not gonna cut it. Defender fits the bill nicely. Did I consider a Polaris Ranger? Sure did. Why not? I mean, it's basically the same machine, same payload, same towing. You can get them obviously in the 4-seat options. But for me, it just came down to, I don't want all the bells and whistles. I just want a machine more geared toward work. And that's kind of what this is. The ride quality is probably not as nice as it is on a Ranger. This one's got more low-end torque, things of that nature. I don't need a race car. I just need a machine that can work around the property, but is also still fun. So let's take a look at this thing, shall we? Like I said, this is the HD9, so they have an HD10 with a higher RPM engine that's more powerful, faster. This thing will do 60 miles an hour. I don't know how much faster you need to go. We were on here a week or so ago, ripping down the farm lane. 50 or 60 miles an hour, pretty darn fast in a side-by-side. At least I think so. Nice location of a cup holder here. It has really plush seats. That's kind of why I went with this trim versus the one below it. Never mind, my seat belt jumped there for speed purposes. Let's focus on the outside real quick. It's got pretty sizable tires. They're a little different in the front versus the rear. These are 27x9s sitting on a 14-inch rim. The backs are 27x11, a little wider. Also sitting on a 14-inch rim. Got a 2-inch receiver, dump bed, actuated manually on this one. You can get them to be hydraulic. Don't want to dump my tools. There they go. All right, they're gonna stay. Perfect. Pretty good angle on that. Bed capacity is 1,000 pounds. This thing will tow 2,000 pounds. Got good access to the engine bay in here. Again, I have not done anything to this. This is brand new, still break-in period, so no oil changes. None of that maintenance yet, but it's coming. Obviously, there's no cab on here. I have some products I'm actually gonna be putting on here real soon. Talk about that in a minute. 4,500 pound winch up front with a rocker inside to actuate it. Great travel and suspension. Oh yeah, coming in hot. Disc brakes all around. She's muddy. Fuel fill port over here on the passenger side. Obviously seat belts. It's got the netting cages here. Haven't pulled those out yet. Real nice brush guard up front. Heavy duty, powder coated. Nice place to mount a light, which I'll be doing at some point. I don't currently have the turn signal kit on this. I'm going to add that so I can make this thing street legal. Take it down the country roads. As for interior fit and finish, I'm gonna set here for sizing for you guys. I'm right at 6 feet tall and 200 pounds, maybe a little more than that. Plenty of room. The seat does actually slide, I believe, like a tractor seat. Where'd you go? Did I make that up? No, I didn't. So it's back all the way. So you can scoot it forward if you want. It's noteworthy that scooting your seat forward does not give the rear passengers any more room because there's a partition. Steering wheel also adjusts. Kind of had it in the middle of the road there. But yeah, plenty of room up front. Here's the rear. Honestly, fairly decent room back here. It's a little tight for maybe a bigger guy. As long as you don't have another big dude sitting in the middle, it's not bad. Got your roller coaster hang-on bar right here. Be fun ride back here. Have a drink or two. Another nice thing is it's a 4-seater. You can actually get 6 people on here if you have children. It has 6 seat belts, and when this is not in use for a seat, flips down, a couple cup holders, little area there, and the back has the exact same thing. More up front, all the seats but for the driver's seat do flip up, so you got a little more room if you need it. Same with the rear. They probably make them. I thought about building some kind of like cargo box to go in here, so you could, if you wanted to, throw a chainsaw in there if you had firewood in the bed or something. A nice way to hold stuff down, an option. Under the passenger seat up front, you got a little bucket. I got paper towels in there right now. It does have a little foam gasket on it, so it should stay clean, and I guess a clean roll of paper towels is a pretty good indication. Yeah. In the dash here in the passenger seat, this is kind of cool. So like a little glove box, got my manual and some of the tools that come with it in here. This little tool kit though just lifts right out of here, so you could, if you had this full of tools, you needed to work on stuff, you could go do that, or you just remove it all together and have another place to, put your laptop if you're working remotely. Nice open spot here in the dash. I believe this is for HVAC if you had a full cab, so I may have that in there at some point. Down below the dash, you got a nice big open cubby here and here. Again, I'm sure they're already earmarked for things if you wanted to make additions. 12-volt plug, couple empties, blanks here, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, your rear diff lock, and then you got a couple different drive modes. I think it's normal, eco, which why, and work mode as you thumb through there. The dash isn't anything crazy. I don't have the giant touchscreen. I don't need it. This is a side-by-side. Why do you need that? I feel like a infotainment system and a side-by-side is like similar to the guys who buy trucks and then don't do anything with them. Drive them in cities and put them in parking garages and don't use them for work. It's nothing fancy, but it's got what you need. Fuel, engine temp, you can cycle through mileage. Looks like we've got 37 miles on it thus far. Like I said, still in the break-in period. Off to the left, you got high and low beams already on here. Controls for the winch. This is where you would put rocker turn signals if you don't put one, if you don't put a lever turn signal on here. Do want to add that at some point. This is where you put your lighter for when you do your cardboard fires out by your barn. And then up here on top, it's kind of nice. It's got this hidden compartment. That's where I keep my tractor and backhoe keys, but down in there it's got another plug, I don't know if you guys can see it, 2 USB ports. So that's on when the key is on, so you could charge your phone if you wanted in there, whatnot. A very washable interior. No issues taking the garden hose and just spraying this baby out. I didn't want something that's gonna be so nice I'd feel bad getting it dirty. So I mentioned I got a pretty good deal on this thing. How much did I pay? Honestly, probably less than you think. I really did get a pretty good deal on this. I also had to drive about 2.5 hours away to find this. There was nothing local. So as 2026 is kicking off, they're trying to unload 2025 inventory. Can-Am had a $3,500 instant rebate off of this. And then the dealer I bought it from in the middle of Ohio, I think it's Bob's Cycle Shop, they were also throwing in another $1,000 off. So before tax, it was $17,500. With a small dealer fee and tax, I got this for $18,800 out the door. Pretty impressive when you consider that it's a 6-seater that'll do 60 miles an hour. So like I said, my buddy Chris had one of these, so I knew what these were. Again, not shying away from Polaris, I was really looking for the best deal, knowing that both of those are reputable brands. But I couldn't find a Polaris that even come close to the price on this. And I think Can-Am killed that $3,500 rebate deal at the end of February. I doubt you're gonna find one that cheap right now, but I would assume next year, as 2026 wraps up, you might see the 2026 inventory discounted. My buddy next door did the same thing with his in 2024 into 2025. But like I said, I needed something. And did it have to be a giant 6-seater? I mean, this thing is big. It's the size of a small car, long wheelbase, turns like a boat, rides like a boat though too. A lot of travel here in the suspension. But what I needed was something that I can go out, use, get dirty, throw my tools in the back, leave chainsaws in here. Before I started shooting this video, this thing was an absolute mess with tools and random stuff in here I had to dump in the barn. But if you're a property owner, you get it. The golf cart was cool for a while because it was the first thing I had out here that I could kind of putz around on and, you know, drive around, get some jobs done, take stuff with me. Can't take the pickup everywhere, it's just too big. But I outgrew that real fast, and this was the ticket. Could I have spent less buying a 1-row unit versus having the 6-seater? Absolutely. Secondhand is also an option too, but you never really know what you're getting. For me, what it came down to is the fact that I have a work machine, but as a family man, I've got something that the wife and kids will ride around on with me as well. My 3-year-old daughter calls this the new car, and all she ever wants to do is go faster, faster, Daddy. That right there is worth the price tag in and of itself. This is certainly not the only video you're going to see of this Defender. Lots more stuff on the way. Primary objective is a front windshield and a back windshield, which are both in my garage. So you'll see those installed here real soon, and I'm sure by next winter I'll probably have a cab and a heater on this thing. So if you're in the market for a UTV, give the Defender a look. My buddy brought his around a few times and I was sold pretty quick. These aren't small purchases, so if you have questions about the Defender or you want specific things answered, let me know. Happy to shoot videos and answer questions along the way. Unfortunately, right now it's time for me to go break this thing in more. Still gotta, you know, get that engine broken in, transmission, and I gotta shoot some B-roll. As much as I don't want to, I gotta go rip on this thing and shoot some B-roll footage for you guys. So if you would, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care. Let's set these tools aside for a second, shall we? I want Russ in front of the kid's swing set here. Let's go back here a little bit. See what the old girl can do. Old girl, 2025. Let's see here. Seatbelt for safety. Really, just to unlock the speed. All right, let her rip, tater chip. At about 500 feet. .42 miles an hour was what I hit on the way out. Slingshot, engaged. Oh, who did this? Who did this? I absolutely need that windshield. This thing's fun.